Hi, my name is Steph Lisa and I lead Amazon Web Services in the Philippines. I'm honored to be with you today as it is the best time to build startups. Essentially, I'll be talking about some of the trends in the Philippines and how AWS can support startups in their journey from inception to growth stage through various programs. This ranges from financials to technical and go-to-market support. This is a topic that's really exciting for me and I hope you feel the same as well. So let's get right in. As you very much know, disruption had been ongoing for a very long time. The technologies that you see here on screen were very novel at the time, but had since been replaced by new inventions. The world is changing rapidly, and Charles Darwin couldn't have been more right. It's not really the strongest nor the most intelligent that survives. It's actually the most adaptable to change. So what do you want to change? How are you taking advantage of the changing landscape? Here's a quick statistics from McKinsey that says that the average lifespan of S&P 500 companies are decreasing from 61 years to 25 years and down to 18 years. And they also predict that 75% of the biggest and most valuable companies in the S&P 500 will disappear by 2027 at this rate, right? And it's because of the disruptions that are happening across the world. Now, startups are some of the most innovative amongst all types of companies. Startups worldwide reinvent a business model in ways that never existed before, ranging from the likes of Netflix and iFlix for video streaming, Slack for team collaboration, Uber and Grab for ride sharing, Coinbase for crypto exchange, and other applications. And these are many startups at a global level who run on AWS, as you can see on the screen. Now, let's zoom in to the ASEAN region. Startups across ASEAN are innovating and disrupting across various industries from travel, commerce, hospitality, delivery, ride sharing, media and entertainment, property, financial services, cryptocurrency, healthcare, advertising, payments, education, insurance, fashion, cybersecurity, social media, and many more. The past 2 years have seen an increase in digital adoption and will only lead to more opportunities for startups to innovate and disrupt. Today is the best time to build a startup in the Philippines. It has been an exciting 2 years for the Filipino startup ecosystem. And particularly in the Philippines, we have seen more than 2x increase in institutional funding each year for 2 consecutive years now from 2020 to October 2021. It is estimated that there are $150 million worth of funding until October this year, including undisclosed funding rounds. And the number of deals funded grew from 16 in 2018 to 27 in 2019, and now 30 in 2020, to 45 deals funded through October 2021. That is a 50% growth year-on-year from last year's numbers in terms of number of deals. And we still got 2 months to go. All these funding numbers are exciting, and not just that. Previously, corporate link or back startups have typically drawn the big funding amounts in Philippines like GCash or Paymaya. Kumu leads this year's breakaway from this trend with $100 million worth of total funding by far. It is definitely exciting to see homegrown social media startups such as Kumu or even Laika breaking out in a sector that is dominated by some of the biggest startups globally. Looking at the big picture in terms of sectors, there is increased interest in e-commerce and e-commerce enabler startups in the Philippines, with this sector receiving the most funding in 2021 at $44 million. And it's led by investments in grocery, great deals, e-commerce, and Edamama. Aside from e-commerce, fintech startups continue to be a consistent area of investment for VCs at 80 million US dollars, and gaming had grew from no funding to $10 million in 2021. Talking about gaming, you may have heard of a very popular game called Axie Infinity. It is a play-to-earn game from Vietnam that took Philippines by storm, estimating that as of the end of September, Philippines makes up 40% of its total users. It is an exciting time with the growth in funding, with startups breaking new ground and new sectors coming up such as gaming. So how can AWS support startups? As Jeff Bezos said, invention comes in many forms and at many scales, and the most radical and transformative of inventions are often those that empower others to unleash their creativity, to pursue their dreams. And so at AWS, we created a self-service platform that can help startups to scale and experiment and innovate by enabling lean startups. In the startup world, the concept of lean startup is one of the foundations of startup thinking. Lean startups go through three different stages, namely problem and solution fit, product and market fit, and growth stage. In the first stage, when you are trying to find a problem or solution fit, it is all about validation. You want to experiment quickly and fail quickly. And AWS can help to enable lean startups with AWS Cloud. How? First, zero upfront cost. Because of the pay-as-you-go pricing of AWS, startups do not have to estimate how much computing resources to provision and pay upfront for computing infrastructure. Instead, with AWS, startups can pay only for the resources they use, much like you would for a utility such as electricity. Second is you can launch faster. AWS on-demand infrastructure allows startups to spin up computing resources in a matter of minutes with just a few clicks of a mouse instead of weeks or even months that it would take to set up hardware. This increases the agility of startups and speed is critical, where speed is critical in business. Third, you can experiment as often as you like at lower risk. Thanks to the cost and efficiency benefits of the cloud, startups are able to experiment often and fail fast with lower risks. Startups disrupt and innovate by essentially testing a series of hypotheses, and their hypotheses are not always right, and their ideas may fail, but the advantage they have with cloud computing is that they can experiment at small scale and in multiple iterations without risking upfront investments they made in servers or owing ongoing payments if they decide to deprovision servers. The ultimate benefit in this is that experimenting often will also increase the likelihood of finding the right direction to success. Last but not the least, focus on core business value. All this ultimately means that startups can focus on their core business. Startups should be great at and focus on the service and product that they provide to customers and not busy themselves with provisioning, operating, and maintaining hardware servers. By allowing AWS to oversee these tasks and provide IT infrastructure services, startups can invest more of their limited resources into actually growing their business. So now that we understand how AWS Cloud can enable lean startups, let's take a look at the breadth and depth of the AWS platform. We've built a very robust platform for millions of different customers and use cases to provide a comprehensive toolkit for builders to build. And they can just start running on AWS. AWS has been continually expanding the services to support virtually any cloud workload. And we now have more than 200 fully featured services for compute, storage, database networking, analytics, machine learning, and artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, mobile security, hybrid, virtual and augmented reality, media, and application development, deployment, and management. Now, our dearest competitors don't even have half of what we already have. With the need for velocity and agility, startups want to innovate fast, really fast. Examples of services that can help startups are SageMaker, that is an IDE that can help startups to build, train, and deploy machine learning models faster. Manage AI services such as recognition to do image and video recognition, or Amazon Personalize to provide personalization experience and recommendation by just connecting with the API. And you can see that this capability made a large impact on the startup ecosystem as well. In addition to technological shifts in the early 2000s, such as open source and horizontal computing, in the mid-2000s, AWS cloud computing has made it significantly cheaper for startups to innovate and disrupt. You see, AWS is not just a technology company. It has a huge implication to the way companies conduct their business and in the speed and cost of innovation. As AWS is in the business of innovating on behalf of customers and accelerating their growth, we have a dedicated team comprised of exited startup founders, former investors, and startup executives. And the team is aligned with VCs, accelerators, and other organizations to help their portfolio companies with their business and technical needs. Our AWS Startup Business Development team works with more than 896 partners and counting globally. Some notable organizations we work with include Y Combinator, Techstars, Andreessen Horowitz, and Sequoia Capital. In ASEAN, notable organizations we work with include Vertex Ventures, Golden Gate Ventures. In the Philippines, we work to support Kickstart Ventures, Foxmont Capital Partners, Gen3, and QBO, for example. So what exactly does this team do? We typically don't invest cash for equity, but we do invest our time, knowledge, experience, and resources across Amazon that can open doors and remove obstacles for startups to further their growth. The team has a network across AWS teams and regional borders, and we're able to leverage that global footprint to connect startups such as you, present here today, to resources where you need it, and champion startups internally. Our team hires people who have direct experience with building startups so that we can act on your behalf, on your long-term interest. By doing so, we strive to build lasting relationships with our startup customers. Resources we provide access to include technical guidance, but also sales and marketing resources on Amazon's platforms for physical goods or software products, benefits from AWS startup programs, making introductions to investors or enterprises where there's potential partnership, and general business mentorship in some cases. Now, let's take a look at the startup programs we have to support you throughout your life cycle from inception to growth, which I will discuss in what I personally call the 4 buckets of goodness for startups. First, the first bucket of goodness is financial benefits for our startups here. The first program is called the AWS Activate program. AWS Activate is a program to support startups at the earliest stage to provide AWS credits to help support startups from bootstrap stage to those that have raised Series A. If you are a bootstrap startup, you can apply for $1,000 of AWS Activate credits through AWS Founder website. If you are a portfolio company of accelerators, incubators, seed funds, or other early stage investors we work with, you can have access to AWS resources that will quickly help you get started, including promotional credits for your AWS usage. The AWS Business Support Plan, which gives you access to technical support, self-paced lab credits for training on AWS, office hours with an AWS solution architect, and a chance to be featured on one of AWS startup marketing channels. Speak with your investor or community manager about what benefits are available for you and how to redeem them. The second bucket of goodness is, or part of the first bucket of goodness is the Startup Migrate program. Startups that are considering moving a significant workload to AWS may be able to receive support if they qualify for this Migrate program. In certain cases, we may be able to help offset the cost of migration within a given time frame and provide technical support during execution. Speak with someone on the AWS Startup Business Development team or your account manager to see if your company is eligible. We have given a lot of these benefits to many companies in the Philippines. Next, the second bucket of goodness is actually technical benefits. For participants of AWS Activate program, they may be eligible for business support. For those affiliated with investors, accelerators, or incubators, or developer support credit for bootstrap startups. Business support credit provides 24/7 support, including phone, chat, and email, with SLAs as low as 1 hour for production down times or less than 24 hours for general guidance. Business support also provides startups with a tool called Trusted Advisor. Remember that. Trusted Advisor is a tool that provides recommendations that help you follow AWS best practices. It allows you to evaluate your account by using checks and balances. These checks identify ways to optimize your infrastructure, improve security and performance, reduce costs, and monitor service quotas. You can then follow the check recommendations to optimize your services and resources. Another form of technical support we provide is actually the well-architected review. The well-architected review is designed to ensure your AWS workloads are secure, high-performing, resilient, and efficient. An AWS solution architect will walk you through a framework of 5 pillars for review: operational excellence, security, reliability, performance efficiency, and cost optimization. And we will assess your workload according to each. There's also a self-service guide online if you prefer to walk through it on your own. Now, the third bucket of goodness is go-to-market benefits. The AWS Partner Network, or APN as we call it, refers to the vast community of companies that have partnered with AWS to provide professional services or software solutions to accelerate cloud adoption for other companies. The APN program consists of a tiered structure for partners to grow their AWS-based business, which will range in a number of benefits from proof of concept credits, technical training, sales and business enablement support, and co-marketing opportunities. Software startups can accelerate their sales cycle by joining the APN community. Speak with your AWS account manager or startup business development team to learn how to get introduced to a partner development manager. AWS serves a wide array of customers from startups to large enterprises. And the AWS Connections program facilitates relationships between AWS and startup customers. AWS enterprises and startup customers to solve a need of the enterprise and in turn grow opportunities for startups. We will start by identifying an enterprise customer business and technical needs, customers' business and technical needs, and then find solutions from AWS startup customers to fulfill those needs. For startup customers, AWS Connections is a conduit for their solutions to be discovered by enterprises across the world. Because we work backwards from the customer, AWS will reach out to startups they identify as fulfilling that need. And then the next way we help startups in go-to-market is through AWS Marketplace. We have AWS Marketplace, a digital catalog with thousands of software listings from independent software vendors that make it easy to find, test, buy, and deploy software that runs on AWS. AWS Marketplace provides a new sales channel for software startups to sell their solutions to AWS customers. Software can be offered as a managed Amazon machine image, which allows you to streamline delivery. Customers pay for AWS Marketplace software as part of the regular AWS billing cycle and can even choose one-click purchasing. Customers can also choose to share their contact data with vendors through the AWS Marketplace product support connection feature, which makes it easy for you to support your customers on Marketplace. Now, aside from supporting GTM for software products, we provide support for physical products as well. Amazon Launchpad, for example, provides education, merchandising, and global infrastructure to entrepreneurs and startup companies to sell and deliver their innovative products to millions of Amazon customers. It includes onboarding support, marketing services, and training for continued growth on Amazon. You also have the added perk of AWS Activate benefits. 6 months of complimentary membership for a Founder's Card credit card and access to the ThinkSpace co-working office in our Seattle offices. While we do not typically invest into startups, and Activate and Migrate credits are already available to startups in all sectors, we do, however, have specific funds that invest cash into startups. So this is the fourth bucket of goodness that our Filipino friends can take advantage of. What are these? First is the Alexa Fund. The Amazon Alexa team has set up the Alexa Fund to fund up to $200 million in venture capital funding to fuel voice technology innovation for developers, device makers, and companies. The Alexa Fund is focused on how voice technology can improve customers' lives, from early-stage pre-revenue companies that are just starting out to established brands. And areas of particular interest include hardware products inside the home, outside the home, on the go, that would benefit Alexa voice service, or skills that deliver new capabilities to Alexa-enabled devices through the Alexa Skills Kit, or new contributions to the science behind voice technology, including text-to-speech, natural language understanding, automatic speech recognition, artificial intelligence, and hardware component design. Voice technology startups will not only receive funding should they be chosen, but they will also gain early access to software development kits, receiving hands-on development and marketing support, and have a chance to be showcased at Amazon events. The second fund is called the Climate Pledge Fund. In order to meaningfully reduce the amount of net greenhouse gas emissions, low carbon solutions need to be developed in all sectors of the global economy. Amazon has set up a $2 billion fund called the Climate Pledge Fund to invest in companies in multiple industries with an initial focus on transportation and logistics, energy generation, storage and utilization, manufacturing and materials, circular economy, and food and agriculture. Companies of all sizes and stages will be considered, from pre-product production startups to well-established enterprises looking to scale. The scope of the Climate Pledge Fund is global and will consider investments in companies developing products and services that reduce carbon emissions and help preserve the natural world. We also have another climate-related fund. So the Right Now Climate Fund is a $100 million fund to support nature-based solutions, which refer to conservation, restoration, improved land management actions that increase carbon storage or avoid greenhouse gas emissions in forests, wetlands, and grasslands across the globe. So take advantage of that. If you want to know more, please just contact us regarding the Right Now Climate Fund. And so, in summary, with the so many disruptions that are happening today across the world, this is a great opportunity for you to be a disruptor yourself. And startups are great disruptors. Change the work that we live, change the way we work, change the way we play and learn. And it's been an exciting time in the Philippines, particularly for the last 2 years for startups with new sectors getting investments here in our country from VCs. And we just want you to know that AWS can provide the cloud services to help your startup in your lean startup journey. So please apply for AWS Activate credits today. If you go to the next slide, you will see here a QR code. Just take a photo of that or go to the AWS Activate site. You see there the website, the link. Or best, why don't you contact our Miss Nietzsche Lee at Amazon.com, and she would be more than happy to take you through the programs that we have and guide you through the various programs that you can take advantage of to get you started. With that, I put this session to an end by sharing with you a nice quote from our CEO, formerly the CEO of Amazon Web Services, and now the overall CEO of Amazon. There is no compression algorithm for experience. That's what he said. And I believe this is very, very true, especially when it comes to experience in cloud computing. We are here to help. We've been doing this since 2006, ever since we invented cloud computing. And we are here in the Philippines. We have full-blown offices in the Philippines, and we can help you go global in minutes and get you started on your journey. Maraming salamat po. Mabuhay ang mga Filipino startups. Go build and go disrupt and change the world. Thank you.